Welcome to TestWord Teachers Tea Room. Here, you will learn useful tips on how to teach with TestWord textbook to achieve the learning objectives in the curriculum. Join us for today's session on the school and the curriculum.
Let us look at the school and the curriculum. What do you look out for when you adopt a curriculum? Maybe I should just talk briefly about it, because I see people who come and ask me, Dr. Manuel, I want to use the British curriculum, and I'll ask you why. I just like it. No, but you need to tell me why. Aside liking it, why do you want to use it? If you want to choose a curriculum, you have to look at the goal of your school, the aim of that school. Will your main intention be for those children to go and continue in Britain? If that's your main intention, please go for the British curriculum so that when they get there, they can adapt well. But if your main goal and your target audience will be Nigerian children, then please look at the Nigerian curriculum, at best add your USP, or you look at some areas of the British curriculum that you can just bring in slightly. So in adopting the curriculum, you look at your target audience and the aim of your school. Now, I've also been to schools where teachers say they do not write lesson notes. And I ask them, why are you not writing lesson notes? Well, lesson notes is supposed to be for you to know what to teach, and where to teach, and how to teach. You come in prepared with it so that you have focus. The lesson note is a guide to you as a teacher. In fact, the lesson note is so super that when you cannot come to the classroom and you are prepared a well lesson note, somebody can stand for you in proxy. So I say, no, like in this school, I'm usually to such schools, I realize that the administrators are not educationists, and I laugh. And I ask them, are you using an emergent curriculum? And they ask me, what is an emergent curriculum? Now, that's what we want to talk about. An emergent curriculum is a curriculum that you plan on the spot, after consultation with the learners of what should be taught. You have an idea, but you must consult with them. And it's always used during Montessori and high school, but the issue is that you can't even use an emergent curriculum beyond the nursery level. So I keep asking, why the emergent curriculum? You can use it, but only at the nursery level. And that will take us right now to lesson notes. There are small issues that we want to clarify in the lesson note. For instance, Ms. Awaha, please talk to us about behavioral objectives.
Well, behavioral objective in any lesson note is telling us about what we want to achieve at the end of the lesson. By the end of a particular concept that has been taught, I want to achieve the following. It is stated this way: by the end of the lesson, student should be able to identify, list, mention, describe. All of those verbs are used in stating behavioral objective.
Please, and I like what you just said. What teachers should know is that when you are stating, in the first place, some call it behavioral objectives, some call it instructional objectives, some call it operational objectives, some call it learning outcomes. It must always be written in verb forms. I've seen lesson notes where people write, students should know. How do you know that they know? They must always write it in a way that when they do it, you know that you can see it. It's a doing word. Okay, fine. And that's a beautiful one. What do we mean by previous knowledge?
Previous knowledge? Yes. Previous knowledge is everything the child, as regards that topic you want to teach, everything the child, sometimes they call it entry behavior. That's what he or she must have known before that time. Or any knowledge in the past that has a relevance with what you want to teach. Because nothing is in isolation. You build on what the child already had known. So you look for something that that is relevant to that topic that he must have known in the past, and relate it with what you want to teach to make expectations high and easy for you to pass on your content.
So we want to look at procedures now, because we're talking about writing lesson notes now. These are areas where people, so when we're talking about procedures, what are we looking at?
Presentation.
Yes, it's either called procedure or presentation, and it must be in what?
You have steps.
Steps.
So yes, step one.
Introduction.
Step one, and the step one must be what?
You have
No.
The teacher introduced the topic, or you mentioned the topic.
Step one usually is going back to what it's a recap. It must always be a recap, because that's why we say, Fobel says, when you come to the classroom, always keep in view what you have taught the last time. So step one will be teacher enters the class and tries to
remind them
of what was done the last time. You know, when we mark this thing, these are the things that we look out for. In behavioral objectives, you want to look at how the verb forms have been stated. In procedure, you want to look at, okay, is she going to go to introduction of the topic? No. It has to be first a recap. It is too important, because in that recap, that is actually when some will even learn what you think that they learned the last time.
and build on it.
And you now build on it. There's this particular one that I wanted to talk about, where I see problems all the time. They're writing lesson note content.
Content.
Yes.
Well, content is part of presentation, procedure. You have stated the first one. The teacher introduces the lesson by asking questions from previous knowledge. That takes care of what they had known before. But when you continue, the teacher, it is a form of activity, and you state it. The teacher explains, or the teacher leads the student to explain. All of those verbs are very important. To just tell them that they are in charge, you are only guiding them all the way throughout the 5 or 6 steps that you will take in that presentation to teach the content of what is being taught by the teacher. It must be in a way that you will let them know that they are in charge, you are only guiding them.
Okay, what I will suggest right now is this. I'm going to talk about content, but let me suggest something. They have even made writing lesson notes very, very easy for us now. You go, Lagos State has it, you will see the various steps. Content stands on its own. And when you get under content, you must write everything that you are going to be teaching.
It's like the notes.
Everything. If you are going to be drawing, like you're teaching fish, you draw there. Now, your content will be helped by you going through behavioral objectives. Because you say at the end of the day, children should be able to draw fish. They should know types of fish. They should know water and the type of fish that lives in them. So you want to write your content. What is a fish? Type of fish. Everything that you have in your behavioral objectives must feature in your content. So that can even, they will give you plenty lines to write it, because everything that you are going to teach must be found in that content. You can't afford to economize it.
If you have enjoyed the session, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel at Teachers Tea Room. Thanks for watching.